And then should I finish my pose review? I kind of finished it, but so it's broken up. It is broken up to season finale part 1, season out part 2, and part 3. And that's why I am not quite yet in a position to finish reviewing it. But honey, I hit all the major points. At the end of the day, that whole circus is orchestrated by the supremacy regime, the supreme team. No, I don't want to call them actually supreme, because they might take that as a compliment. They might not even get the sarcasm because they that idiot. They bigger idiots. Can't call them the supreme team. Supreme deluxe. Yeah, call them like a burger. Supreme deluxe. They'll still take that as a compliment. Even if they related to a value meal, they'll think it's a compliment. What can you say? Mega, super deluxe, mega, master, and angel food cake versus devil's food cake. Shouldn't they switch colors or names? Shouldn't they switch names? Shouldn't the chocolate one be the angel food cake? And shouldn't the white one be the devil's food cake? They start us before we're even born. And I can't hold it against y'all for not knowing any better. But once I realize you don't know any better, I don't mind not knowing any better, but once I realize you're not knowing any better and you reject knowing any better, on top of not knowing any better, that's when you're in an unsafe space with me, and I have to protect my people and dismiss my energy from any of your spaces. Plus, we don't want to bless people with our energy that aren't deserving of it, even in general. Like I said, in relationships, you don't want somebody's not deserving of your energy. Fuck them. Me and Mr. be on the same page with that. Like when you realize somebody is not sticking by someone unconditionally, ultimately has conditions. It's just that those conditions are very extreme. Like you really gotta hit a deal breaker. Y'all have deal breakers on one hand, and on the other hand, so once you get in that committed, if you have someone, you go ahead and get in that union with them and they do a deal breaker, it now can't break the deal because you married to them. So this person becomes psychotic and start threatening your life. Let's say they weren't before, because I think y'all know y'all man before y'all meet them. And then y'all become actually victimized and y'all call on the name of sisterhood, come help me out of this shit that I invited myself into, that I tried to, because I pushed up on him because he was so fine and he was popular, or you thought he had money, whatever the fuck dumbass reason that you chose him in the first fucking place, when he showed you he was a fuck boy on sight. They utter 7 words and I can tell. Some of them, most don't have to utter a word. I can get more information whether you utter a word or not based on your response to something, your emotional facial expression or response, physical even response to something. That's what indigos can do. And I gotta keep tapping myself on the shoulder, my human flesh self, and reminding myself everybody can't just do that at a whim. And in exercising my patience, I just recognize what it is and back up. I've never been guilty of letting someone in my life that wasn't worthy of it. But in these New World Order social times, because that's what the fuck it is, the desocialized social times, my position is now to assess who is not a safe space and conduct whatever business we have and move the fuck on. Ain't no social nothing, ain't no. They've succeeded. Desocialization. That's the irony of they in the name of social distancing. Desocialization in the name of social distancing. At the end of the day, and I did videos on it. Y'all wasn't checking for me then. His fat ass mowing the lawn. I want to say his fat ass, but I'm not gonna say that because he has lost a lot of weight, and I think he did it deliberately. And that motherfucker did it. But fuck him. He's a fat racist fuck who just got his life together when he got some young thin chick pregnant, and she had a baby for him. And we honestly think the concept of fatherhood made him grow the fuck up a little bit and get a little bit more compassionate. Because he said something. White people think they can say slick stuff about Latinos to black people that they deem as some of the good ones. And they think that we don't know that, oh, this tells us how you feel about black people. And so fuck you. You're welcome. But anyway, I am a fair person. I know people come here, oh, she hates all white people. Well, I don't trust white people. Okay? And when they show me that they're racist, yeah, I hate them. Because they would have me killed at the drop of a hat. If you call the police on a black person, and I'm not saying he would. Yes, he would. And most white people would, without fully understanding the situation. They would call. And that's not to say, okay, let me be clear. Most white people would call the police on a black person before. That's key. Call on a black person before they would call them on a white person doing the exact same thing. And when I know that they're that type of colonizer, then yeah, fuck them. Fuck them. Unapologetically, y'all kind of like, maybe if we just sit down and explain. You don't have to explain. You got to explain what they're doing to us, to them. They're doing it. They know what they're doing. They did it on purpose, bitch. Don't make me have to Harriet Tubman your black ass, please. But that's not what I say to black people that think like that. I just sit and listen to them and I go, Like I said, I just listen. But I'm just venting to y'all. Like, this is what my mind is saying when people are like, well, there's some good white people and, they do what they can to such a mad of it. And there are. But the most credible people I consider to be allies are those people who can acknowledge the intensity of their own privilege and the intensity of the oppression that we endure every day in the contrast of the two. And they're not constantly talking about or reminded. They don't need to be constantly reminded of what is. They don't act shocked and appalled every time America does what it does to us. They know that that's what the fuck they do. And that's what black people have been fighting against. And all this performative shit is just some bullshit, Let me go water the garden, because I feel right now, I see right now I'm about to go down that truth-telling road. And I don't even want to hear it from my own self, y'all. Y'all just be I know y'all be sick of me. You be like, doom and gloom. Mr. be like, you always doom and gloom. But not no more. I don't talk no current events with him. I've been good at that for about, I'd say I'm about 3 months clean. It's June. I'm about 3 months clean. I don't discuss it with him. I just hope he can hold out. I hope he can hold out and stay team unvaxxed for as long as possible. Because I feel him softening up to the idea that they may possibly have good intentions with the jab. And what they're going to do now is they've stopped telling us about all the people that are dying after getting jabbed. And they stopped telling us about all of those people. There were so many, remember? So many. And immediately they started telling people about all the people that were dying of COVID who chose not to get jabbed. And that's what they're going to tell people. And these people are people who are dying anyway. And to shape the narrative, they'll have everybody feeling like they're dying because they didn't get protected with the jab. And what's interesting is they're not touching on the enormity of the number of people who are dying within a month of said jabs. What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm thinking about all the people that I feel like they gave it to. A certain percentage of the people that went to go nasal swab tested. I feel like that was them testing it out before they actually start distributing the jab in masses. I gave it to a few people that way. Because nobody noticed that nobody noticed how many people went just to get tested. They were fine, no symptoms. They just wanted to know if they had it. So they went to go get tested. And within a few days of hearing that they tested positive, or within a week of them hearing that they tested positive, they started having symptoms. But you were just curious. So you just wanted to test to see if you had it or not. Only after you found out you had it did you start having symptoms. Bro, it's the whole same theory they used since the 80s in our deadly prescription ads. Ask your doctor about this new thing for something that you don't have to prevent you from getting that thing that you wasn't worried about getting until we just brought it to your attention. And get popping on this poison as soon as possible, please and thank you. Make our job so much easier. Smooches. My bad for going off, y'all, but not sorry, because I love y'all for real. It just be tough love. It's no less sincere. In fact, possibly more so, because the tough love is the one that's going to make you get up off your ass and make it better for yourself. The coddling love is like, oh, I understand. You know, everybody goes through that. Everybody makes mistakes, and they do make mistakes. Everybody goes through, but they don't have to. Everybody don't have to go through it. Or maybe everybody has to go through it except you. If you take the steps to prevent that stuff, if you really don't want it, they say you want a good man and go twerk for him. Go twerk to get him. That ain't what the good men are responded to, girl. But I know for sure y'all don't want to hear that shit. All right.